somewhere along the lines, I realized that I had been preaching one thing and doing something else. I preached that there are certain things that define the gospel of Jesus Christ. Could I go to this Resolve 2016? Is it Resolve? That sounds like a cleaner to me, but isn't there a Resolve? I think there's a Resolve cleaner. But Resolve 2016, where all these big names are coming, and so's the Pope. Is that the one is that? Okay. It starts with an R and has a 2016 in it. Anyway, I could never go there except on one condition: to debate. If I can debate somebody on whether the Pope is the Holy Father, but if everyone's running around calling the Pope the Holy Father, that's a gospel issue. Okay? I mean, there's history here. You can ground it in the text. This is Romans 3, 4, and 5. This is, boom. This is Galatians. This is Galatians 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's right there. Oneness Pentecostals, Unitarians, the Trinity, who we're worshiping, bingo. It's right there on the surface. It's definitional. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15. It's right there. There's no way that it's adiaphora. There's no way that it's just, well, they've got their emphasis, we've got our emphasis. None of that stuff. It's absolutely definitional. And see, I've been preaching for a long time. We've got to draw lines. The problem is finding the balance in how you draw those lines and recognizing that I am a fallible human being and I'm going to get to heaven and I'm going to discover there are lots of things that I had wrong. And I don't want to be the Pharisees. The Pharisees had the Word of God. The Pharisees had so much right. And yet they were the main people Jesus went after. I don't want to be a Pharisee. I don't want to be amongst those people. And so making the distinction between identifying false teaching and then going, and so therefore this person is a false teacher. Recognizing that we can talk about theology, we can go the Word of God, but I can't look into the hearts and minds of other individuals. There are going to be people who are big names at Reformed conferences that are going to be in hell. They're going to be in hell because they're fooling us the whole time. And there are going to be people in heaven that a bunch of folks are going to go, oh my, there's grace. Yeah, and I'd be one of the chief ones, I guess. I have learned to try to express grace as well as discernment in my life. And that's a tough balance to keep. And if you don't like where my balance is, well, I don't stand before you. You may think I do. You may want to pretend I do. I don't. I don't. And you don't stand before me. But here's the problem. JD, I don't think you know Jeff Durbin. I don't think you know Luke. I don't think you know these people. You're looking at them from a distance. You're looking at them from outside. You do not see that that is a young man who is absolutely sold out to be pastor of those people. The man goes from morning till night. He's beating himself up physically. He gives everything 100%. And what you don't understand is this church grew out of a drug rehabilitation program. I have never seen anyone drunk in any context. Never. They preach against it. They teach against it. Do you realize you are impugning the character of men and women who are on the forefront of opposing abortion? Oh, who cares? The Roman Catholics do the same thing. They put their money where their mouth is. They put their money where their mouth is. They adopt children. They're on the forefront of this stuff. Well, he's a theonomist. Well, see, there's where the stuff starts coming in. There's where the bias and the bigotry starts coming in. When you can when that starts becoming the lens that allows you to impugn the character of people who are absolutely sold out, these people are willing to disrupt their lives, to disrupt their friendships, to pick their families up and serve Christ someplace else. You might want to be asking yourself the question, why aren't more churches like that? But when you realize their background, when you realize that that's where they came out of, drug rehabilitation, they are not pushing debauchery. These people are homeschooling, sold out believers in Jesus Christ with leaders who love them. And even though they know the worship service isn't quite what we have at PRBC. All right? Now, nor should it be. Because the people they've got there would not flourish in our place, and vice versa. I happen to think that's okay. Churches are not supposed to be clones of one another. And if you define maturity on the basis of your mirror image, that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. I have tried to be of benefit to Jeff and to Luke and to the people at Apologia. I have tried to model as much maturity as I can. And I have a feeling I know Jeff has said that I'm one of the major theological influences in his life. And that's humbling. That's humbling. But the reality is, I know these guys. I'm here and you are not, JD. You are not. And the information you're going on is so partial that it's laughable. Laughable. Pure gossip. You're exactly right. It's pure gossip. You are wrong here, sir. I know these men. Are they perfect? No. And they're the first persons to tell you that. I agreed with so much of what you said. Let me just mention really quickly. And oh man. This stuff about the Reform Pub. Have I left the Reform Pub in the past? I have. Why am I in there right now? There's a bunch of people in there that don't like me. And my finger has hovered over the unsubscribe or leave group button more than once. And I don't agree with everything that happens in there. And I agree with you that alcohol for the sake of alcohol is stupid. Do I drink? Yeah, right before I go to bed. That's the only time I do. You know why? Because I did an experiment. I pick up minimally 2 to 4 hours of extra sleep per month because I have half a serving